So today I've got a unique collaboration between Siren and Mash Gang called Cool of the Void. As a big fan of stouts and especially the Guinness alcohol-free beer, I was really excited to try this one. How does this compare to a giant of the beer world and a company who has thrown millions and millions of dollars at their alcohol-free beer? If you want to learn a bit about that Guinness alcohol-free beer, you can watch this video here. How does it compare to the Guinness? Is it going to go in my fridge or is it better to give it a miss? Let's find out in this video. So for availability, I've created a video for all of my Mash Gang beers. For me, based in Europe, it's actually quite hard to get hold of the Mash Gang beers. And they're actually quite expensive going through this distributor. So it's only going to get a 2 out of 5 for availability. But it's just how it is. So moving on to looks. Look, I think something you can always say about Mash Gang is that their cans always look fantastic. They do a really good job of presenting the brand and make it really exciting to look at. And this is no different. I think they've done a great job of bringing in their kind of tattoo punk kind of culture into the can. And on every corner of the can, there's something interesting to look at. But obviously, how does it look when it's poured out? Let's have a look. So, pouring it out, you get a deep, dark color with a thick, creamy head. And look, it honestly does look just as kind of rich and creamy as the Guinness. So like as a normal stout should. So it's definitely got that visual appeal really nailed down. Like I've given, for visuals, I've given it a 4 out of 5. Like I think if you held it up next to the Guinness, you'd be tough to work out which one's the Guinness and which one is the Mash Gang. Once poured out, you're immediately hit by like a vanilla-y aroma. There is a little bit of like malt in there, a little bit of coffee in there, a little bit of dark chocolate. It's strong, but it's not overpowering. I'd give it, I do have a cold, so it's a little bit tricky for me, but I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5. And then taking a sip, it's got a really smooth, velvety texture that coats the mouth. The carbonation is just subtle enough so it kind of lifts the flavors without being too aggressive. And it's quite like well balanced, and it's got a really good mouthfeel in there. But this is where things kind of start getting interesting and maybe a little bit tricky, because I am a huge fan of Guinness and a good stout. But Cool of the Void takes the coffee notes to another level. And I'm a massive fan of coffee. I love coffee, I drink coffee every single day. I do find that the coffee flavor in this is a little bit overpowering. It's definitely got like dark chocolate bitterness, which I quite like, and there's it is nicely balanced. There's sugar, there's a sweetness, there's a bitterness to it, but I do find it maybe goes down the coffee route a bit too far, and it's almost like you're drinking a cold brew coffee mixed with a stout, rather than the other way around. And like I say, I'm a diehard coffee lover myself. But it's just a bit too much. As someone kind of who enjoys like a balanced bitterness and subtlety of the alcohol-free Guinness, I was really excited to try and find another stout that matches the alcohol-free Guinness, and this one doesn't quite cut it for me. It's still enjoyable, so I'd still give it a 6 out of 10. But I don't think it will go into my fridge. So to sum it up, the Cool of the Void by Mash Gang and Siren, it's a really adventurous stout and really leans into those coffee flavors and the dark chocolate flavor. And this could be your next favorite beer if that's something that you're wanting for. But for someone who's preferring maybe a balanced stout, the traditional kind of stouts, it might be a bit overwhelming, and so it won't be going into my fridge. But it's definitely worth trying. Definitely worth getting out there and seeing if it's one for you. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. And let me know what you think of the Cool of the Void. Cheers. Enjoy.